What up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So as you guys can see, this video is dedicated to the brother Philando Castile, who lost his life at the hands of a scumbag, piece of shit, race soldier, white supremacist cop. Yeah, he is a scumbag. I don't even know the guy's name, and I don't give a fuck what his name is. Remember that face. That's all you need to do. Remember that face. He's a piece of shit of a human being. And the verdict that came down in this case should let every black person know that we are at fucking war. I've said it before. We are at war, black people. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't care about us. Anytime they will allow a police officer to murder a man in cold blood in front of his baby, in the car with his baby and his woman, and then go on stand and lie about why he actually shot this man. The judicial system is a piece of shit. This is what Colin Kaepernick was fucking protesting. This is why Colin Kaepernick took a knee. These are the reasons why he took a knee. And just to let you guys know, be clear on this. I'm not accusing all white people of being white supremacists, but the majority of white people want to maintain a system of white supremacy. Let's look at how many of these motherfuckers actually voted for Trump. They rallied around Trump. Look at the current racial climate in America. It's been growing. It's been getting exponentially worse since Obama was president. And now that Trump is president, they are going full blast on black people and the lack of justice that black people receive in this mockery of a judicial system. It is a fucking joke. It is a joke. In a country that claims to want to uphold the premise of liberty and justice and freedom and equality, but then a black man who's murdered by the cops, his family can't get justice from the very judicial system that claims that very thing, and they get mad at you when you don't recognize their fucking flag as a symbol of that. All you motherfuckers are hypocrites. Every single one of you motherfuckers that can stand up and pledge allegiance to a flag that stands for something that it doesn't uphold, or rather the people who pledge to that flag don't uphold the premise that the flag is supposed to hold over people. The symbolism, what this flag acknowledges and symbolizes. If you can stand up and pledge allegiance to that flag, but think it's okay for white cops to get off for murdering black people, you are a piece of shit. You are a fucking hypocrite. The whole sentiment is contradictory. Every black person should protest that motherfucking flag and pledge an allegiance to that motherfucking flag. Every black person should protest that shit. Protest motherfucking police brutality. Every black person should. I don't give a fuck how you do it. But no black person should ever pledge allegiance to that motherfucking flag again until what they're talking about applies to us. This is a perfect example of how when America is talking about freedom, peace, and equality, they're not talking about your freedom, peace, and equality. Why the fuck do they get all black jurors in cases when black people are murdered by white cops? They use all white jurors. And then these jurors are always biased towards the police. Always. Because their perception of the police is different. Because the police and monitor their communities completely different than they do black people. So they already their objectivity is already compromised. It's already compromised. I mean, don't you? I mean, how the fuck is a jury full of 12 white people, a jury of your peers as a black man when you live in a community with mostly black or brown people? How the fuck is a jury of your peers made up with people who don't live in your community, who don't have the same experiences as you do in your community? It's bullshit. They say that justice is blind. Well, here's a fucking note for you. Justice may be blind, but the people who are quote-unquote delivering the justice, they're not fucking blind. They're not blind. Justice is not blind because the people who are actually behind the judicial system are not. It's a fucking oxymoron. It's a contradiction in fucking terms. Justice can't be blind if the people who are judging you can see and have biases and prejudice. So to believe that, you have diluted yourself into believing a fucking fairy tale. This is truly Alice through the fucking looking glass. You have diluted yourself in believing in a fucking fantasy. You have. Which is why a whore like Amber Rose can be praised for being a whore while While Mae Jemison, one of the first black female astronauts, can go virtually unfucking known in history. Give me a fucking break, man. Seriously. But shout out to Philando Castile's mom who cut loose at the press conference. She cut loose. And this is another thing. I'm going to make this video pretty short. I'm going to end it with this. This is another thing too. Sisters, keep standing up and speaking your mind, because this is fucking ridiculous. Black women are standing up and being more vocal and protesting police brutality than fucking black men. All you men should be a fucking shame to yourself. We got hood after hood after hood full of fucking tough ass gangster murderer motherfuckers. But when it comes to facing down a fucking white supremacist, all y'all turn to bitches. You turn to bitches. What the fuck is the point of having a gun if you won't bust a motherfucking grape in a fruit fight? What's the point of calling yourself tough when you turn to a fucking Kleenex tissue whenever a white dude come around, soft and fluffy? Get the fuck out of here, man. White cops show up. You motherfuckers tuck your tails between your legs and run like bitches, but you want to convince me that you're a gangster. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Because I'm not even going to go there. This black woman stood up and said more in defense, said more against police brutality than a lot of black men have been doing in the public eye, on TV, mind you. She is going off and letting people have a piece of her mind. And black men are sitting around recording it, giggling and laughing like a bunch of suckers. Look, man, I'm not going to tell anybody to do anything that's going to cause you to lose your life at the hand of one of these white supremacist race soldiers. I'm not going to tell you that at all. But all I'm going to say is, if you think your life is in danger, you better fight. You better fucking fight like your fucking life is on the line. If you perceive a threat to your life, you better motherfucking fight like it ain't no tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're going to die anyway, what would you rather do? Go out like a bitch? What's the saying? I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I live that shit straight up and down. I live that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to have their life extinguished from them prematurely. But at the same time, if it's already being threatened, what the fuck do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Yeah, sometimes you don't get a chance to actually fight back. Granted, this brother was sitting down in a car strapped in with the seatbelt. He didn't get a chance to fight back. But all I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity to save your own life, then fucking save it. Black men, stand up. Stop being thugs. Because to me, all you dudes out there claiming to be thugs, but turn to pussies when it comes to standing up for your people, thug is the new word for bitch, in my opinion. You're a thug, you might as well call yourself a bitch. You're a sucker. Because thug don't mean you standing up for your people. Thug don't mean you're protecting our women and our children and our elderly people. Thug doesn't mean that you're not allowing fucking white supremacist cops to come into our neighborhoods and treat us like shit. Apparently thug doesn't mean that. Thug means doing fucking the white supremacy's job and poisoning and killing your own people. If that's what the thug means, then you two are fucking white supremacists. Thug is the liberal term for fucking white supremacists. All you motherfuckers need to fucking start out at full speed, right? Duck your head and run into a fucking brick wall as fast as you fucking can. Because if you're a thug, I'm telling you what I see thugs doing. Thugs are talking about taking drugs, objectifying women, blowing money on dumb shit, teaching our kids how to be stupid and disrespectful in the community, not protecting the women and the children, basically doing everything that white supremacy is doing to us under the guise of being a black thug. So at the end, a thug is a fucking white supremacist. You might as well be a fucking Ku Klux Klan member without the hood. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. With a real motherfucking man, please stand the fuck up.